Light off and
Yes, all of you can hear me now, na students? Okay, so
Yes, sir.
let everybody join. I will start with it. Okay, my voice is audible. Am I audible properly, students? Clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I think you can chat with me. If you cannot chat, you can tell me in the group also, or personally to me also. Okay, in the this in the WhatsApp group also you can chat with me if you are not able to hear me. Okay. See, just 10 minutes more and our practical will get finished. Okay, just 10 minutes more. Okay, and our I will not take much time of yours. Okay, see, I've taken much of your time, but I'm sorry for that. But this as this is the last lecture, I think you can bear me for another 10 minutes, isn't it? So see, what is there? This ball, okay, this bob, it is having a force mg sine theta result, okay, here, and that is creating a movement, okay, that is creating a movement, and that we are trying to we are trying to take it in the equation, okay. Mg sine theta is creating a torque like this, and the accelerating torque is like this. So why the accelerating torque is I0 theta double dot? Theta double dot, I have explained it to you. What is theta double dot? Okay, I've explained what is theta double dot. What is I naught here? Okay, this I naught is mass moment of inertia. Okay, movement of the mass. What is mass moment of inertia? Just of the movement of the mass. As you know, what is area moment of inertia? Area moment of inertia is the movement of the area. Okay, so if there is a bob here, okay, if there is a mass here, then we have to take the moment of that mass. Okay, so this is as it is a point mass. Okay, there is a point mass. We are considering it as a small point mass. Therefore, the moment which we are taking of this mass about this point O, okay, about this point O is what? Mass into distance square. Okay, mass into distance square, that is ml square, students. Okay, so I0 is ml square, which we are taking it. Okay, so see here now, I will show you the other thing. Okay, see, accelerating torque here. Okay, accelerating torque we have shown. I have shown you it is in I0 theta double dot. Okay, in this direction. Okay, I have shown you here. Okay, accelerating torque in the previous this previous photo. I have shown you accelerating torque. Okay, in this it is going like this in this direction. Okay, so the direction is like this. So in the same way, I am taking you here in the calculation part. Okay, I0 theta double dot is in this direction. Restoring force is mg sine theta. I have shown you mg sine theta. Okay, that is the only force. Okay, which is not zero. So force is mg sine theta, and because of that, there will be a restoring torque. Okay, and that will be in this direction as shown. Okay, it is shown here. See, it will be in this direction. The restoring torque, of course, the ball will try to move backwards. Okay, the ball will try to move backwards, and what will happen is that the ball will try to move in the reverse direction. Okay, and therefore it will try to achieve its position back in this direction. So therefore the restoring torque is in this direction, and the accelerating torque is in this direction. We have taken it. Okay, see, this derivation is also, it is a little bit important to understand the concept. So that is why I want you all to focus. Okay, a little bit. Very simple, very simple. See, I'm using the uh, Newton's second law of motion. Okay, I'm using the Newton's second law of motion. So what is happening here? See, NSLOM means Newton's second law of motion. Okay, these are the accelerating torque I have shown. This is the restoring force I have shown, mg sine theta, and because of this restoring force, there is a torque developed, that is minus mg sine theta L. Okay, minus mg sine theta L. Why I am taking minus mg sine theta L? Because the direction of this accelerating torque, okay, and this restoring torque is opposite. So the restoring torque is having an opposite direction as compared to accelerating torque. That is why I'm taking minus sign here. Okay. See, I am not using D'Alembert's principle here. I am using accelerating torque, Newton's second law of motion here. So according to Newton's second law of motion, accelerating torque is equal to summation of all the external torque. Okay. Therefore, I0 theta double dot. Okay. What is I0 here? I have told you ML square. Okay. ML square. Okay, students, it is ml square. So I0 is mass into distance square, mass moment of inertia about the point O. I is mass moment of inertia here, okay, and this O here, small suffix O, it is the moment about the point O. So that is ml square here, okay. It is coming as ml square. Theta double dot is the acceleration. Ml square into theta double dot is equal to minus mg sine theta into L, okay. Minus mg sine theta, I have taken minus sign. I am telling you why I am taking it as minus sign, though it is on the equal to sign. Okay, equal to sign के वो बाजू है. It is on the other side of the equal to sign because I am using Newton's second law of motion. Therefore, according to Newton's second law of motion, if the movement direction of movement is on the opposite side, then I have to take the minus sign here. Okay, so here the minus sign will come. Okay, so now I am equating it. I am now cancelling m and m here. Okay, I'm cancelling the m and m here, okay, and then what else? This L and the square of this will cut, okay. So what will remain? L into theta double dot, okay, plus g theta, okay, equal to 0, okay. So what will happen? Theta double dot plus the I'm dividing the whole equation by L now. Theta double dot plus g by L into theta equal to 0, okay. So see, since the theta is small now, theta is very small, I am taking sine theta approximately equal to theta in this step. Okay, from this step to this step, okay, I am taking sine theta is approximately equal to theta, and I0 is ml square. I have written here. So what is happening? I am getting this equation, theta double dot plus g by L into theta equal to 0. Okay, all of you are getting this now. See, I am comparing this equation. Okay, I am comparing this equation now. Okay, this equation I am comparing with the standard equation of motion. Okay, standard equation of motion is theta double dot plus ml square, sorry, theta double dot plus omega square theta equal to 0. What is the standard equation, students? Theta double dot plus omega square theta equal to 0. Just a second. See, there is a standard equation which from by which I am comparing this equation of mine. Okay, the equation which I got here, okay, here I am comparing it with a standard equation. Okay, which is the standard equation? The standard equation is, I'm writing it here. See, the standard equation is theta double dot, okay, theta double dot plus, okay, plus omega. Omega is the frequency. As it is the natural frequency, I am denoting it by omega n. Okay, okay. So theta double dot plus omega n square theta, okay, omega n square theta is equal to 0. So all of you compare this equation, okay, all of you compare this equation, okay, and this equation here which we have got, okay, this equation here in the downwards we have got, okay. Compare these two equations and tell me what will be omega square here, students. Can you all reply me in the chat box, or can anyone unmute himself and tell me what will be the value of omega n square. Can anyone tell me?
G by L.
Yes, students, all of you are awake.
G by L.
I think you all are sleeping, students. Is it so? Can you all chat with me? Yes. Omega square will be G by L. Sufyan Ansari. Yes, very good. Omega square will be G by L. Okay, comparing these two equations, I get omega n square is equal to G by L. So that only I am solving here. See, that only I am trying to solve here. Okay. On the right hand side, you can see I have written omega square is equal to G by L. Yes, Kunal, very good. So see, omega square is equal to G by L. On the right hand side bottom, I have written omega square is equal to G by L and omega is equal to square root of G by L. This is my natural frequency. Okay. This natural frequency is my theoretical natural frequency, which I have to compare it with my practical natural frequency. So see, one thing you have noticed, the natural frequency of a simple pendulum, it is not depending on the mass. Whether you increase the mass or decrease the mass of the bob, it is not depending on the mass at all. It is depending on the length. Okay, it is depending on the acceleration due to gravity. It is depending on the length. If on the same length, if you attach the mass of which is double the value of the previous, then also the natural frequency of a simple pendulum will not change. Okay, if you give the small displacement to the setup to the bob, then also the frequency will be same. Okay, so here see in this equation you are not getting any value of m, therefore the natural frequency is not depending on the natural frequency is not depending on the mass. Okay, so let us see move ahead now. See what we have to do here is we have to take readings. Okay, we can consider the mass as 100 grams or anything. Okay, we can say take the mass as 100 grams or 0.1 kg. The mass is not affecting here anything. Length of the string we can take as 0.05 meters. Okay, this is our observation table. Okay, this is our observation table here. Okay, serial number is this. Length of the string we have to note. Okay, we have to note the length of the string. We can change the length of the string. Okay, I've shown you the setup, students, all of you. I've shown you how is the setup. Okay, in that video I was trying to show you. Just a second, I will show you the video. See, all of you know, I think, by the way, what is a simple pendulum. Okay, and how does the practical is taking place. You might have learned it in your, I think so, in your physics practicals in your 11th 12th. Okay, and also diploma students might have learned somewhere. Okay, so see, this person is trying to explain you, okay, what is the practicals. And I just wanted to show you this thing. Okay, this is our setup, experimental setup. Just don't see anywhere else. Just our setup is concentrating here only. Okay, in this much part. Okay, this is a stand wherein the wherein you can fix the string, and the string is coming here downwards, and there is a small ball attached here. Bus. Okay, so you just have to give a small displacement to this ball, and you have to note the frequency. So that will be your practical frequency, which you will note with the help of your stopwatch. Okay, or you are going to do it is, see, you have to give a small displacement to it. Okay, it is attached at the top. Okay, you can change the length from the settings. He is giving a small displacement here. Okay, a small displacement is given, and for 10 oscillations you have to note the time. How much time is taken for 10 oscillations. Okay, you can see you can adjust the length of the string from here, from the setting. Okay, so for 10 oscillations you have to note the time. Okay, for 10 oscillations, if it is telling let's say for 10 oscillation it takes 4 seconds. Okay, or for 10 oscillation it takes, let's say for example, 5 seconds. So can anyone tell me what will be the time period? Yes, students, what will be the time period? if for 10 oscillations it is taking 5 seconds. Okay, so for one oscillation, how much is the time? Okay,
0.
one oscillation will be 5 divided by 10. Okay, for 10 oscillation it is taking 5 seconds. For then how much will be the time required for one oscillation? It will be 5 by 10. Okay, so 5 by 10 is 1 by 2, that is 0.5 second is the time period. Have you all understood it, students, what I am trying to tell you? Okay, so see why we are
Yes,
taking
sir.
the time for 10 oscillation, why we are not taking the time for one oscillation is that because to avoid the errors, all of you know this. Okay, while you have done it in, I think so, somewhere in mechanics also you are doing this type of experiments in compound pendulum and all. We start at from a point, and the moment we start the stopwatch, okay, we start it and then we end it. Okay, there is some time lag, time gap. Okay, there are some errors if we try to take it for only one oscillation. So therefore we are taking for 10 oscillations. Okay, we can take it for 5 oscillations also. The only thing is that you have, if you are taking it for 5 oscillations, you have to divide the time you are getting for that 5 oscillations divided by the number of oscillations. Okay, so the time period, okay, here the time period which you are getting here t, it is equal to the total time which you are getting, okay, for the n oscillations. Okay, let it be small t, whatever time you are getting for n number of oscillations, that divided by the number of oscillations. Okay, that is your time period here. Okay, this you can find out. Okay, you can note the time and you will get the time period for one oscillation. Okay, then once you have got the time period, 1 upon time period will give you the frequency. What will be the frequency here? Hertz. Okay, what is the frequency called? Hertz, or it is the cycles per second, number of cycles per second. Okay, number of cycles per second is the frequency, Fn. Okay, so you will get the frequency. This is the natural frequency, which is the practical frequency you will get from by performing the practicals. Okay, and that you have to compare it with your theoretical frequency. Okay, this is our practicals. Actually we have to compare this value with our your practical value with our theoretical value. Okay, theoretical value you will get it from here. Okay, this is our derivation. From derivation we have got omega n. Okay, so omega n is 2 pi fn. Okay, so fn will be omega n upon 2 pi. So you have to compare this natural frequency, or okay, your practical natural frequency with this theoretical natural frequency. Okay, this much only is the practical. Okay, students, so can you all do it now? Okay, you can do it now and you can tell me just for one value, just a one value we will take. Okay, and you will tell me the answer. Okay, theoretical value and practical value. See, we can measure the length of the actual practical. Okay, we can measure it easily by a small scale or something. Okay, we can measure the length of this. So we have to just put it. Okay, we have to just put it in the value. This length we can measure, how much length is we have taken. Okay, that you have to take in this formula. Okay, okay, so you have to take it in this formula and you have to put it. You might be taking your book and pen with you. Okay, so in this formula you just have to put the value. We have taken 0.05 meters. Okay, g is also 9.8 meter per second square. Okay, if this is in meters per second square, I'm taking length also in meters. So you will get the time period. Can anyone tell me the time period here? Can anyone tell me the time period, students? What will be the time period? Okay, for 0.05 meters. Yes, anyone who can calculate and tell me what will be the time period here? Theoretical time period. Okay, 0.44. Sufyan Ansari and Anas Patel have got. Okay, 0.44. So this is your time period, and 1 upon time period will give you the frequency. Okay, so this is your theoretical frequency which you have to find out. Okay, theoretical frequency which you have to find out. Yes, Kashif has also got the answer. Okay, Kashif Nerekar, very good. See, this is the theoretical time period you have got from measuring the length of the simple pendulum from the formula, and the 1 upon time period will give you the frequency. This frequency, okay, this frequency you have to compare it with the practical frequency. Hope you are getting what I am trying to tell you. The practical frequency which you will get it from your practicals here. Okay, see here, when you will take this simple pendulum, okay, and you will measure it, what you have to do, you have to just give a small displacement to this. Okay, you just have to give a small displacement to the simple pendulum, and you have to start the stopwatch from one point. And when the one cycle will be completed, one cycle will be completed, okay, one cycle will be completed from one point. Okay, when the ball starts from this point, it goes here, and when it comes back at this point, then only one cycle is completed. Okay, one cycle will be completed when this ball from this position it is going here, and then it is coming back to this point. So this cycle will be completed only when it comes to the first point. Okay, back to the first point. So in this one way you have to see it, start the stopwatch from this point and take the time, note the time for 10 oscillations. Okay, so it will go from year to year, then it will come back. So for one oscillation is completed, then for second oscillation, then for third oscillation. Okay, so in this way you have to count the number of oscillation and stop the stopwatch as soon as your 10 oscillations have been completed. Okay, so as soon as your 10 oscillation is completed, you are stopping the stopwatch, you will get one time. Okay, you have to divide it by 10, as you have noted. For 10 oscillation you have to divide it by 10, you will get the time period. Okay, and divide take the inverse of that. Okay, take the inverse of that and you will get the frequency. Okay, what you will get, you will get the frequency. Okay students, okay students, all of you, this is our observation table. Whatever value we get from here, okay, in the last thing, you have to compare it with your theoretical value. All of you have understood it, students? Okay, okay, very good, very good. F is equal to 2.27, very good. Theoretically, Sufyan Ansari, he has got F is equal to 2.27, very good. Okay, so this was only our practical. I have tried to explain it to you in a very simple way. I hope you all have got it. Okay, this is our very simple practical. I have taken it as it was our first practical. Okay, in the next practical we will learn about our this governor, okay, which is going on in the theory. Okay, so hope you all will be able to understand that also, as you have understood this. Okay, any doubt in this session, students? Any doubt, you can tell me, you can ask me now. Any doubt, students? You can unmute yourself. See, I have given the permissions to all of you. You can unmute yourself and you can reply to me. You can ask me. Okay, no, so you all have to run now. So much time I have taken of yours. So you want attendance now, I'm understanding. See, I will share the Google form with you. Okay, also I will share the link of this recorded video, okay, to your group. You can see the video also. Okay, and I will share the Google form. I will make it in 5 minutes and I will share it with you. Okay, thank you very much. We will meet in the next practicals. Thank you, students.
Thank you, sir.